Hey my dudes, how's it hanging? It's your boy ZNF1 here. So today we're going to talk about the hypocrisy centered around Molnupiravir and how it was demonized and the biases around that drug politically over the past year and a half, 2 years. But before we go on and get into that, let's cue intro. Now, for those of you who do not know what Molnupiravir is, it is a antiviral drug used to reduce the symptoms of COVID and kill parts of it essentially. So the whole plan of it is to reduce symptoms of COVID and to prevent people from becoming hospitalized and all that stuff. I did a whole video on the hike on the prices of the original production costs, and I'll leave a link to that video up here and then down in the comments below. The drug was pushed back about 5+ months after becoming involved in this sort of moronic culture war centered around Trump. Molnupiravir was extremely hated on, downgraded, and denied at all of any credibility whenever Trump and his administration was still in office, much like hydrochloroquine, which has been proven to kill previous versions of SARS and reduce symptoms of COVID. Any sort of funding for it was just completely disregarded or denied. Now that we see Mr. Joe inside office, mainstream media and drug administrations like the FDA, CDC, doctors, etc., people that are supposed to monitor and approve of drugs for people and just help to regulate it, so to speak. Now that he's in office, the whole drug's going through the approval process now. This is very fucking politically biased. The fact of the matter, either way, one way or another, a lot of people notice how politically charged science has become, and science should never be a part of that whatsoever. It's supposed to be just pure raw data to help people, not help fucking political people gain advantage on each other or politicians. People are treating the same facts divergently, contingent on those that they, in this case they is the mainstream media and politicians, see will benefit from the news, so their buddies and all that, and oftentimes financial. The anti-COVID drug is set to be discussed on November 30th by the FDA's AMDAC, which stands for Antimicrobial Drugs Advisory Committee. This is to look at the data presented by Merck and Ridgeback to approve for emergency usage of said, anti-COVID drug. If this drug is approved for emergency usage and proved effective, then tens of thousands to millions of people's lives could have been saved over half a fucking year ago. But instead it was being demonized and just completely denied any worth into looking into or being funded by the government. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, Trump officials pushed for government funding, it's subsidized now, to accelerate the development of the drug Molnupiravir. They were opposed by Rick Bright, whom Democrats praised as a whistleblower. Times like these have happened before where the progress of something is pushed back due to political affiliations. But it really hasn't been as bad as this Trump and post-Trump era, so to speak. It has been as politically charged from what I've gathered and what I've seen. When we have situations like these happen where politics and science are intermingled, intertangled, and not separate, like they should be, we tend to have this breach of moral ethics generally, where the science is used to help sway people in a certain way, or to guide them, or even mislead them to want to be affiliated with a certain person. When that happens, it's extremely messed up, because the fact of the matter is they can do anything they want to that science at that point, and people are going to believe it because, oh, science, you know, like science is science. Science is right, always right, which science, like the science that proves things right, gets outdated all the time. That's why you got to keep an open mind about things, but believe the things that are proven currently with like a decent grain of salt, you know? You got to look at it logically too. You got to use science and logic to come to conclusions. It's just the best way to go about things. When you sit here and, you know, have a process like this during the midst of a pandemic, so to speak, you know, it's kind of fucked up, the fact of the matter that we were having politics and using science to sway people in the way of certain political figures. Sitting there demonizing science that was proven to at least help a little bit at the time, to weaponize it against a political opponent when there's millions of lives at stake. It completely, it's dastardly. Like, how the fucking hell can you do that? It doesn't make sense, you guys. The fact of the matter is that should not be happening at all. Politics and science should not be fucking used this way, and they should not be intermingled or interwoven together. They can use science to weaponize it against an opponent. Not shocking, because career politicians are fucking corrupt, greedy little fucking scumbags. And I'm the type of person who argues for, you know, decentralization of power and, you know, just taking the money out of politics, so lobbying, all that shit, because it's proven to not really be as beneficial as it has been. Maybe if, you know, we either reduce the shit out of, one, terms, and two, like the, you know, wages of career politicians to that of something of, I don't know, like a standard fucking living person's wage, maybe then they'd fucking understand, you know? Like, if they get that sort of mentality, these things wouldn't be happening. That's in addition to, you know, getting the fucking old people out of fucking office, because they're old. We don't need that many old people in office. It's just not going to work well. It's a conflict of interest generally. We got to understand, we can't sit here and, you know, have this sort of connection between these two things, because it's proven to be pretty hazardous, especially if this drug gets approved. It's really fucked up, the fact it didn't happen, you know, 6 months prior for development and everything else. It should have been, arguably, if it helps people. And it's proven to, why shouldn't it, you know, get approved? As long as it's not completely fucking hazardous and harmful to human beings and all that. Which is showing signs of success back then, from what I've gathered. It's just not playing ethically well to have this sort of connection between these two sort of fields, because of the fact that it can be weaponized and just, you know, used to the advantage to benefit your political partners and people that side with you, you know, which kind of goes into the part of, you know, systemic corruption, which is kind of what, I don't know, my whole channel's about exposing. These type of things just really should not be happening at all. However, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below as to the ethics of the situation and how messed up you guys think it is. If you guys did make it to the end of this video here, leave the comment astronomical down below to let me know that you guys are part of the 100% club. Now, if you guys did enjoy, please don't forget to, you know, like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me whenever you guys do this, and helps to, you know, get me further in that algorithm. With that being said, though, my dudes, I do hope you guys enjoyed this and found it to be enlightening. As usual, please don't forget to, you know, live long and prosper, take care in peace, and keep it 1,000,000% real. I'll see you guys on the flip side.
I'm not afraid, take my face and my name, paste it on the front page. I'm already famous and you'll never change it by hating or claiming you'll take it away.